Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique. Boiled eggs, perfect for protein on the go and healthy fats. Cottage cheese, perfect to get your dairy in, high in protein, zero fat, perfect to mix with anything that you like.
Today we're dragging you through the chaotic, caffeinated, soul-riveting process called video editing. What kind of a script is the soul-reviving world of video editing from zero to hero? What's a timeline to Spielberg? Who? Anyways, I'm going to put this script away and say, sup, my dude. Today, I wanted to take you through my entire process of how I put together a reel for a client, from what is step one of creating the project file to the timeline to the audio corrections, the sound effects, the sound design, the color grading. Oh my gosh, it all sounds so overwhelming, but don't worry. It's all about taking it in bite sizes. So buckle up, grab some coffee, and give the person next to you a kiss. That's right, there's no one next to you because you're lonely just like me right now. Although I have a very beautiful girlfriend, so there's that. So you're probably wondering, who the hell is this guy? Why should I even be watching this guy's video? Well, I also wonder that sometimes. But I've been video editing for about 10 years. I mean, straight out of school, instead of studying, I decided to intern in a video department at my church. That was pretty awesome. I learned so much. It was really long hours. Oh my gosh. It was questioning reality itself. And then after that, I went and I studied graphic design. Of course, surprising I didn't become a tattoo artist at that point. And then after that, I eventually found myself in the world of video editing. I wonder if a lot of gamers actually became video editors like me as well, because gaming was pretty cool. Taught me a lot. Anyways, so the first thing we're going to do is in our project file, I'm going to call this Arnold because my client's name is Arnold, not Schwarzenegger. Foslua. He's pretty cool. He's a new client that I landed. I had my first shoot with him last week, Monday. It was a full day shoot for about 8 pieces of content, but we do a value system where some videos are obviously more intensive and take up a lot more time than others. So in that case, you get less, but the value of it is more. This video is him talking about essential foods you can't grow muscle without. We will obviously fix the title that when we export it. Obviously, choose your destination. I have designated folders and I like to keep things organized. So Arnold has his own. I always thought this will become, because it's the first month, a year 2025. Then it'll be 06 June. And then what we have, as you can see, guys, ladies, if you're here as well, organization is king. You have your exports, your footage, your links. Your links is anything you attach into videos, your songs, your sound. Well, I have a designated sound effects folder in my assets folder, but anything over here. Oh, would you look at that? I already have this thing done. But because we are helping ourselves like beginners like me as well, we will be doing this from scratch and just this one solo. So I'm going to title this and save it over here. So that way, when I'm looking for this project folder, it's going to show up in here. Okay, select and create. So with this client, we did not use a microphone like this. My other clients, sometimes we do use microphones like this where I will attach it to my MacBook and use OBS just to record his audio or another application. But this time we just had wireless microphones. So there's no audio syncing, but that is really easy and quick to do, which I can help you with that if you need help. The first thing I'm going to do is, because it is a reel, in Premiere Pro, we're going to go window, we're going to go workspace and change it to vertical, and ta-da. And I always have, this is my default setup over here in Premiere Pro. I have my projects, my properties, Luminary. I like to keep my effects over here. I have Motion Array plugin, which sounds amazing at first until you realize you're probably never going to use it. So there's that. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab the footage that I need from him. And so that is obviously going to be in his designated folder. So, Arnold, where are you, my friend? You're here and here and footage. And as you can see, we filmed a lot. If you're wondering if I'm any good at video editing, this was one of the videos we made for him. Anyways, I think he has his crown. So I know a fair little bit about video editing. And so anyways, let's go and get it. So the way we recorded this was almost like a voiceover first, and we're going to overlay it with all the B-roll shots that we did. So all of these. Nope, that was his pantry reset. So the first thing we want to do, again, organization. So I create a folder called footage. And then I'm going to create a folder called sequences. Please do not judge my spelling mistake. I question whether I finished school myself. And then I create a folder called links, which is where all our music and, if we adding, Photoshop files to animate inside, which we're not going to be doing in this project because it's not that deep, bro, today. Today is just about helping you go from 0 to hero according to the script. So I'm going to just drag all of these into my footage file. Now, what you'll notice is if I double click to preview it, it's kind of gray. The reason it is gray is because everything was shot in S-Log3. Can I just say, the amount of times I asked this good-looking gentleman to stand in the center and then he slowly shimmies to the side. Oh, what can you do? What can you do? So I remember one of them, I had he's talking. Oh, it was...
Keep like a big smile.
Oh, no. So I'm going to quickly scroll through this. Okay, that was a cool one where he just like shink through. We're going to center that, add sound effect to that. And that's going to be super cool. This is when he like takes it out. So this will be kind of reversed. So we'll actually start with it here, or technically like here. And then it's going to go this way into sight. And then over here, this was for his fibers, because eating fibers, us gamers and video editors, do we even know what fibers are? Do we even know what dieting is? Do we even know what macros are? Oh, this is him talking. Okay. Great stuff. I think he might have botched it a few times. So I literally just dragged it. If you're wondering what the hecker is that this guy just do, I literally just dragged it like this. I clicked on here. If you want just the audio, you can click the audio, but I want both video and audio. So there's little icons over here. I just dragged it like this. And I'm going to quickly rename this sequence over here just so that I know what the heck I'm working in. So it's the 5 essential foods for lean muscle. I think that is actually what we settled on for a title. If you also want to see what the footage is, you can double click in here and then it's going to open up a little folder over here. And if I click on this icon over here, I can see what the footage is. And this is clearly him talking some more. So I'm going to actually drag this over here. And what is this one? Oh, this is him.
3, 2, 1.
Perfect to get your dairy.
Yes, I remember. So essentially what we did was we shot each product and then we shot him talking about each product. So what you guys see, I click on here, I'm holding it and I'm going to drag it onto timeline. So now we have all of our footage on the timeline. One of the first things I like to do is clean everything up. Now, when you're video editing, the king of kings, other than Jesus, is shortcut keys, because you got to speed up your process as much as possible, especially when you have a few videos to get through. So Q and W, they're your step bro. They're your booty, your family, your friend, your uncle, your auntie, your your sissy, because it's going to make your life so much easier. So I'm just going to like, come over here, press, watch this, Q. And I can see he probably made a mistake over here. Let's just see what he said.
Here are the 5 essential... okay. Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique.
Okay, not bad, not bad. Did he redo it? Okay, so this is his intro. So these are the 5 essential foods for maintaining. So I pressed Q over there.
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique.
Very cool, very nice. So what I remember was I recorded a B-roll to go on top of this while he says that. It's the one where he's juggling. If I double click on this one, if I double click on this one, so it's meant to be like this. So basically that's going to go on top of that, but we will get to that. Let's start off with basics. It's kind of like when you're spring cleaning a house. You start off with the small wins first so that you can build momentum so that you don't feel like crying. And I'm going to press W. W is going to erase everything in front of this up until the next cut. So if I press W, voila. Now, the first food we did was the egg.
Boiled eggs, perfect for protein on the go and healthy fats.
Okay, see, boiled eggs, very nice. I'm going to press Q over here, and he finishes about over here. It's going to be kind of rough cuts. The next thing over here.
Cottage cheese, perfect to get your dairy in, high in protein, 0 fat, perfect to mix with anything that you like.
That reminds me of that reel where it's like, time to make my gluten-free, no bake, no beans, no girls, no grills. That reel, I don't know if you've seen it, but it was actually more like a trending song. So I'm just pressing Q and W, going through the motions over here, just seeing, okay. Next.
Don't need to explain Popeye, but spinach is a great source of fiber, very high in vitamin C and amino acids. Oh, shit. Okay.
It's okay, bro. I feel you. I would probably be worse than you. It's always, you know, if you don't make it fun for yourself while you're editing, you're going to get bored really quick.
Don't think I need to explain Popeye. Spinach is a great source of fiber, very high in antioxidants and very good source of vitamin C. You can't go wrong with spinach.
No, you cannot. Surprisingly, I never buy spinach because I'm too lazy to make it. Next up, I can see here these were irrelevant. Oh, maybe that was him. Oh, yeah. He tried, yeah. So like.
Anyway, berries, great antioxidant, great to put with oats, great to put with anything, and great as just a finger snack if you open up the fridge.
Very cool. So I just press W to clean that part up, and I'll come over here.
And how can you forget chicken strips? This is perfect. It's a lean source of protein, perfect to put with any meal, really good as a snack. Keep it in your fridge, high in protein and lean source of protein. Let me do that again.
So he repeated himself, and I remember I wanted to fix just my focal length something.
And guys, you can't forget about chicken. These are chicken strips. These are perfect as a protein snack. If you open up the fridge, you need some protein, you're on the go, you don't have time, chicken is your go-to.
Chicken is your go-to. Okay, I'm going to press W over here. So I've cleaned up my timeline kind of as much as like I can right now. Because anyways, what's going to happen is these clips are going to be like in the intro here before he says like boiled egg, for example. The real challenge is going to be like, you know, like music. Like, oh, by the way, if I press like, if you want to be able to, if I press my up and down arrow, it kind of goes between the cuts, right? But what you want to do as well is you want to click on this here. It will allow me to go between these cuts. So what I mean, if I unclick this, right, and I have this over here, right? So, and now I'm going to press W. It's going to jump to here. And then it's going to jump to here. And it's going to skip that. That's just because I need to activate. What does it say? That's just because I need to toggle the track targeting. That's what it says, yeah, if I hover over it. So that will allow me to jump between these yeah, for slicing and dicing and setting it up on the timeline. Alrighty, so before we set the rest of this up, I'm just going to remove all of that. I want to fix my audio here. So one of my secret sources of audio is I'm going to come into my audio effects and amplitude and compression. I am going to add a multi-band compressor. Then I'm going to go to filter and EQ, and I'm going to add a parametric equalizer. And then the next thing I'm going to do is add a denoiser, because all of that is going to raise the levels. It's going to make it sound a bit more bassy, but then with that comes a little bit of noise. So since I've added them, I now need to go into my effects and controls. And if I scroll down a wee little bit, I can edit each thing that I've added. So my multi-band compressor, I'm going to click edit over here, and I'm going to change it to broadcast. My parametric equalizer, I'm going to click edit, and I'm going to add it to vocal enhancer. My denoise, I'm going to denoise it by 25%. So let me show you before and after. So this is what it's going to sound like.
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique.
So you see there, that's how it sounded. Now, when I enable these,
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique. Boiled eggs, perfect for protein
do you hear the difference? Because he's going to come from here. This one hasn't been edited yet.
for maintaining a healthy physique. Boiled eggs, perfect for
So what we're going to do now is we're going to copy this attribute across all of them. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to copy, or Command C or Control V if you are on PC. Look, I'm a PC gamer, but when it comes to editing, this MacBook Pro slaps. But I wonder what kind of laptop you might be working off, or PC. What are your specs that you're running there, big boy? Okay, I'm going to paste these attributes and I'm going to select these over here. Just remember to deselect motion or anything else you have here. Maybe you've already accidentally color graded, changed the size of things. Maybe you've added in a zoom manually onto it. So just make sure you're only copying that on, and then au revoir. All of it is here. And save. Save scum like you're playing a single player game that doesn't have a save feature, but you added in a mod that allows you to save like Kingdom Come Deliverance. But anyways, I am now going to create an adjustment layer, and the adjustment layer we're going to do our base color grading and conversion off of. Now, if you have recorded your video off of a phone, or maybe you record outside of a picture profile, so like picture profile 0, so the color is already baked in, then it's not necessarily important to add this, but you can do your tweaks on here. So I just right clicked, new layer, add adjustment layer. I'm going to drag this off across over here. Oh, pro tip, by the way, if it ever annoys you that there's not enough layers, just right click over here, add tracks. Ahoy, baba, hoy as much as you want, baba, even 50, kidding. I mean, you can, but I'm just going to add 10 tracks to both the top and the bottom. So now on this, anything underneath an adjustment layer is going to be affected. So if I was to come into my color over here and I was to like shadows, blacks, whites, contrast, highlights, exposure, anything underneath this layer is going to get affected. If I was to come into my footage, which I'm going to move over here, and hoy this over here, you're going to see it's going to look like, I don't even know what you'd call that. Not delicious. So anything under the adjustment layer gets affected by what's on top, which is why it is great to do small corrections. I'm just going to reset this, which is why it's important to do your small corrections under the adjustment layer. And then when you finalized all your cuts, your sound effects, any motion graphics you want to add, anything else, you then go into the individual clips and you color grade them using your Lumetri scopes. Yeah, I said that correct. Woohoo! 10 points. 10 points. So the first thing I want to do is, because I obviously record in S-Log3, I'm going to convert it to my Lutafami Parker Wallpack Sony S Gamut C-Line S-Log3. Voila, you can see there is actually color in this. Obviously, you see before, after. This is just your base correction. Check out the Lumetri scopes. But since everything was shot in a controlled environment where I had lights set up, I had tube lights in the background over there, there's not going to be much change between shots. It's not like I'm outside filming an event or a wedding where one moment the sun's out, then the next the sun is hiding behind a cloud. So I'm going to do my base corrections over here. So what I like to do is let the blacks just touch, and then the whites just before it peaks touch over there. And then I see my shadows are very dark. I am in 1/8 resolution. You can change this just to help, with playback speed, but this machine's pretty good. I'm pretty proud of it. Hashtag debts. And I'm going to just raise my shadows a little bit just because it's really dark on the side of him over here. Let me just change this to full. So I'm just scrolling in over here. You can press H to go to your hand and then V to come back. So H, V, and then I can just come back over here and you can just check like, okay, how's everything looking? Then another methodology that you can use is if you click on the layer of the footage, and we're just going to pen tool him over here just to see. Essentially, we want his skin tones to be the most accurate part of this. So that's kind of like the line where you want it to be. So if I was to change my colors to just a little bit more green, slightly green on my red. Okay, that looks maybe a bit good. I am not an expert in color grading. I will disclaim that. And then once I've finished with that, I'm going to go to my face controls, click back on this, and delete this mask. If you want me to repeat that quickly, I just clicked on this layer over here. I went into the opacity. I clicked on the pen tool, and I made a little triangle like that. And then I went to my lumetri sculpts. I changed my temperature and my tint to get it to align. See what I did there? Align. Sometimes I should be a comedian, but I'd probably get fired so quickly. And then I came back to my face and controls and I removed the mask. Voila. So essentially that's 7.3 and minus 2.2 is what we're going to want on this. So I'm going to go back to my adjustment layer and I'm going to put that across all of them. So it was temperature was 7.3, and then my tint was minus 2.2. So I'm going to go minus 2.2. Sorry, I accidentally dragged it there. And then this, I'm just going to, you need to reset these. You can just double click, voila. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to lock this layer so I don't accidentally, adjust it, move it, because it's going to change in the end. But there's nothing worse than like, if you press your Q, quick tip, if you press Q, anything that's like locked or not locked above is going to get erased. So watch out, boop. So you see it also removed this adjustment layer like that. So I'm just going to Command Z or Control Z just to take it back to normal. And I'm going to relock this layer. So now let us tell our story and keep it fun. So the first part is he is actually doing some jiggle as he is saying this voiceover. Oh, my brother from another mother. If only you stood slightly to the side. Oh, if you still zoomed in, you can click on the zoom scale and just click fit. Voila. I'm going to change my resolution back to 1.8 just so that I don't cry myself as I feel this MacBook heat up my room. All right, so let me listen back over here.
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique. Boiled eggs.
Oh, 5 most essential foods for building a what physique?
Here, maintaining a healthy physique.
Maintaining. Oh, we are in a maintenance phase. So you see if I drag this clip underneath the adjustment layer, it's going to be color graded already.
Here are the 5.
So here are the 5 essential.
Here are the 5 essential.
Oh, this is my man.
Essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique. Boiled eggs.
Okay, so I kind of want him to, I want this part to be the end as he catches here. Shoop. So I'm going to drag that there. I'm going to gooi all of this over here. And then, bam.
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique.
Now, there are ways.
Here are the 5 essential foods
really
for maintaining a healthy physique. Boiled eggs.
Like most.
Here are the 5 essential.
Cool. So, time to go tactically advanced, okay? So here is going to be how you interlink between both Premiere Pro and After Effects, because obviously After Effects allows you to do a lot more at a lot quicker pace, especially when you want to add text that animate really cool, and it's just easier to maintain those layers the way it's displayed in the app. And with tracking. So I'm going to right click on here and I am going to replace with After Effects composition. So I'm going to wait for it to open. It's going to ask me where do I want to save this and what do I want to save. It's going to ask me where do I want to save this and what do I want to save this to. As you can see, it says save as untitled project. So I'm going to come to where I have my Premiere Pro project file, and I'm going to click on the Arnold here because it's going to create an Arnold June AEP After Effects project, and I'm going to click save, And then, we already have one. So if we already have one, I'm just going to make it a V2. V2 boots. Okay. V2 boots. So the first thing I want to do is I want to resize these and I want them in the center because center alignment. Oh my gosh. Oh, if you're wondering what I'm doing, you can either press S, increase the scale. And then I'm just going to drag him over here just to be in the center. What I really want to do, just to keep like motion, is I am going to stabilize the motion. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to increase the Ds. And then I'm going to track through his nostril. Funny enough, if I hold spacebar, it brings up the hand. So remember in Premiere Pro, you press H to go to the hand. Here you can either click up over here. Its shortcut key is H as well. Or I'm pressing V to come back. Or you just hold spacebar down. And I'm going to bring this up here. So funny enough, whenever I've tried to track people, I just go straight for the schnozzle, bro. The schnozzle seems to schnife its way into accuracy. I don't know what it is. But anyways, I am going to click over here and I'm going to fit it. And I'm going to maybe zoom in a little bit because I'm counterproductive. And I'm going to click play. So analyze forward. So what this is essentially going to do, that might be a bit tough with the products coming in between. So what it's essentially going to do is create like keyframe points like you see over here. If I come on this and I press U, it's going to show all of these. Essentially what it's going to do is like track everywhere the nose goes. But as you can see, we have a bit of a curveball. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust this to be back over here. I'm going to press Command. Next frame. I think on PC it's Alt. I had to look at my keyboard over there because I have a PC in front of me. And I'm going to just, every time, just move this back about there. I am full on 100% guessing this right now. I could be extremely. Oh, there's the schnozzle. There we go. There we go. We want to keep it in the schnozzle, brother. We want to keep it in the schnozzle, brother. The problem is this might not work out. If it doesn't work out, there's other areas we can track. Let me just click next. Okay, play. Now, with this type of tracking, it doesn't really need to be accurate. I am going to apply it. And now what you'll notice is it's going to keep his head in the center, right? So it's a bit janky, as you can see when that goes there, right? It gets a bit janky, but you can see here, it goes off boards. So we can increase this here and we can just do something like this. Shum, 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 shum. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Oh, I have so much fun. Sweet. Okay. Woo. I hope he never watches this video, but Arnold, I love you. I'm so proud of you. You're doing great. So since it's interlinked between Premiere Pro and After Effects, the moment I come back in to Premiere Pro, it's already updated. So then I can just...
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique. Boiled eggs.
So the first thing we want going to obviously do, but before he says boiled eggs, we're going to go like, I'm going to add a shing sound effect. So, hung. Hwa ha ha. So it's going to be
Zeke.
Bah. Then it's maybe a bit too fast.
Eek.
Bah. No, you can't have these going up. So it has to start from here. So again, I'm going to just use my Q button to erase what was before it. And then boop. So it's going to
Physique.
bah. So then what we're going to do is a bit of a makeshift J cut where he starts talking before we see him. It just adds...
Eek.
It adds...
Boiled eggs.
Maybe just now.
Perfect for
We're going to add sound effects to make it super cool.
a healthy physique. Boiled eggs. Perfect for protein on the go and health.
How long does this go on for?
Boiled eggs.
Come here about there. Boom.
Boiled eggs. Physique.
Boom.
Boiled eggs. Perfect for protein on the go and healthy fats. Cottage cheese.
Now remember this one, we are going to be reversing it. Sometimes a shot is really hard to pull that focus and hold that focus. So to reverse it seems to be So I want to get just before, so about here, as he brings it into frame. So this I'm going to drag over here, right? And then now you can see anything I put on the adjustment layer is color graded. I'm going to speed, duration, and I'm going to reverse this bad boy. Bam! Oh, it's just not centered. So I'm going to double click on this and I want to add lines. If you don't have these rulers or guides, you just go into your view, show rulers, show guides. And I'm going to go into my properties panel over here and I'm going to scale this bad boy and I'm going to move him just over here. I don't know if my camera was tilted or if there's a problem with the packaging that it is at an angle, because everything else like that looks dead straight. But you know what? Maybe getting old is catching up to me. I'm going to actually slow this down. So speed and duration, 50% boy, and then I'm going to click optical flow. And okay, perfect. Now we're going to have as it comes into frame.
Cottage cheese, perfect to get your dairy in, high in protein, zero fat, perfect to mix with anything that you like.
The next up was, oh yes. So this one we just had a top down. I think I made him redo it because I was like, nah, bro, we need more passion. Need more passion, brother. Okay, so this one, it's gonna come over here. We're gonna add sound effects, all of this.
That you like. Don't think I need to explain Popeye. Spinach is a great source of fiber, very high in antioxidants, and very good source of vitamin C. You can't go wrong with spinach.
And this one was this one we just had him drop a bunch of berries and it's all going to be in slow motion. I didn't record it in 100 frames a second. Partially my own fault of not having the correct SD card with me. You actually need, I'll actually show you this little thing over here. This memory card. Let me see if I can put myself out of focus. So this memory card over here, it's very fast. So it allows you to obviously record in like 100 or 120 frames per second in 4K, 10 bits in color encoding. It's very nice, very expensive. I did not have it with me. Instead, I had my 256 gigabyte SD card because, but it's your first time shooting with a client. You really don't know what they're going to
go wrong with spin.
So you got to take every precaution. Alrighty. Next up is going to be my blueberries. We're going to slow this down to about 50% optical flow. And clickety OK.
Go wrong with spinach. Anyway,
here.
Berries.
I'm going to just remove that anyway. And then I'm going to... So if I click in between here like this, and you see it light up like that, when you press backspace, it's going to remove it, right? But if you have, let's say audio, that's like over here, for example, and then you have another audio track that's over here, this will no longer work. It'll only either close it to that, or if, let's say this is there and this is here, it's always going to close to the audio files more than the video files. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes you can just lock the layers, especially when you balls deep into an edit and you have so many sound effects. Oh my goodness gracious me. May the Lord have mercy on your soul when you have to readjust the time. That's why video editors do not like it when a client says, can we please change the song?
Berries, great antioxidant, great to put with oats, great.
It's just great, bro. It's just great.
Can't go wrong with spinach. Berries, great antioxidant, great to put with oats, great to put with anything, and great as just a finger snack if you open up the fridge. And guys, you can't forget about chicken. These are chicken.
What do we do for chicken? Oh, great to put with oats. I don't think we spoke about odds, but it's fine. We forgot to speak about the odds, but I can get this clip over here, which is so cool, man. Okay.
Great to put with oats.
Great to put with oats. Oh, brother. We're going to add optical flow. So we just...
With oats, great to put with anything, and great as just a finger snack if you open up the fridge. And guys, you can't forget about chicken. These are chicken strips. These are perfect as a protein snack. If you open up the fridge, you need some protein, you're on the go, you don't have time, chicken is your go-to.
Something tells me chicken is your go-to. So we've got our base, storytelling over here. And the next up we need to do is we need to find some music to go with these. Okie dokie. So, and sound effects. So I have a whole assets folder for my sound. So if I go into my assets and I go into my sound and I go into my sort by kind, because good Lord have mercy, and sound effects over here, and I drag and drop this into my links. I actually generally usually keep it separate from the links. Sound is everything. We're going to do that sound effects before we do music. And so let's see here.
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique.
5 essential foods. We will do.
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique.
All right. So there's not much to go over there. I'm going to drag this over here. See where it says name in my project folder? I'm just going to drag this like this so I can actually see what the names. I have a ton of sound effects. A lot of them are from Motion Array out of all of the platforms between Artlist, Epidemic Sound, a bunch of other places where you can buy sound packs. I have found Motion Array to be the most affordable, especially when you're just starting out. And you get some pretty cool features. Like you can even do AI audio to a script. And it's pretty good, actually. It is pretty good. So I think what I'm going to add in the beginning is a bit of a...
Here are the 5...
It's like a little swoosh with that being in the air. So I've got whooshes, water swooshes. I'm going to look for something that's a bit chilled. That is definitely not what we're going to be using. So we can come over to our, I have soft sound effects in here. So deep, long air. There we go. So I'm going to take this and this quickly. Just make sure I can align. So I just click on here and then it's the audio only. But because they are audio only files, it shows up like that. I'm just going to extend this layer so I can see here are peaks over here, right? So this is where I want that to kind of be.
Here are the 5...
So that's
essential...
I'm just going to extend this now. Just let it like fade out. And then there's another one.
The 5 essential foods.
And then he tossed this up. So there's a little, it's a wee little toss. Okay. We have a little one over here. Oh gosh. So sometimes you just need to extend it just so you can see where it's going to be. And I'm going to press Command. You can hold on Alt and the right arrow key just to move this quickly and adjust it. I'm going to make it very soft because it was a little tiny throw. So let's see how this sounds.
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining.
And then I'm going to add something over here as well. So, woohoo, go Arnold. I just asked the man, can you juggle? And he was like, nah. I was like, well, you got no juggle.
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique.
Oh, we got one more to add over here. Oh, so we added for that one. Now we're going to add, I think we added for this one as well.
Maintaining a healthy physique.
And then one more for this one. Woohoo! This is why we added in 10 audio tracks earlier, just so it makes it easier to drag and drop these on the timeline like this. This is a big throw, so.
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique.
That's quite nice because it adds a
maintaining a healthy physique.
So here what I'm going to add, so I have, when you're doing sound effects, sometimes you want something to the metal, to the, like, you know, whatever is impacting it, right? But glorious. I love this sound effect. I use it actually quite a lot with my gym videos. So I'm going to actually plonk this just over here, and I only align it to as it lands, because it's actually when you use it, and it's not too noticeable when you lower it.
Healthy physique. Healthy physique.
But now we need to add a metallic sound like a slice. So I have this viral sound effects folder. There was someone on Instagram that was like, comment viral to get the viral sound effects. I was like, brother. In one of these packs, there was like a sword stuff, which I want to use. But there's really cool sound effects in this. It was on that one. Let me see if it says camera, click, ding dong. Nope. Let's come over here. Camera, data. Nope. Might have missed it. Let's check here. There is sword draw. So it's this one over here. So I'm going to add an in and an out point. So what I essentially did is I pressed I over here, and then I dragged this over here, and I pressed O for my out point. And I'm going to drag and drop this over here. I'm going to extend it. They extended it. It's like the Lord of the Rings extended edition over here. And we're going to just move this, and we're going to make it actually quite soft. Like we just want a hint of it. You know, it's like the rule that I kind of said to myself in sound effects and music is you notice it when it's not there, but you don't notice it when it is there. And that's quite a good principle to live by sound effects and music is if it's overly noticeable, you're doing it wrong. Obviously, sometimes you can appreciate sound design and sound effects, but generally, when that's the case, you're paying attention, you're looking for it. You know, especially when you see like lens distortion videos and all that stuff, you just grow a new appreciation for it. So you're looking for it. But in general, when you're watching back, you don't want it to be like, oh my gosh, that is clearly a metallic impact.
Physique.
So that's a bit loud, and I'm going to make this one a bit softer as well. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to drag this to about minus.
Maintaining a healthy physique. Build a
Now it's a bit too soft.
physique. Build a healthy physique.
I think this part's the one that's too loud, so I'm going to make this a bit lower here.
Healthy physique. Build eggs.
Okay. So anyways, what I'm going to do is add another layer of a build up, and that is in my dark and dramatic. I got an energy riser. My energy riser, oh, glorious. Oh yeah, that's loud. Nope, we do not want to be using this. Maybe my sub impact. Maybe for something a bit softer. No, man. We are not playing Halo here. This is that's actually just, sometimes I like to take just this part. There we go. And then as it's landed, so about here. So I'm switching between program and source over here in our preview panel. So this is obviously, if I double click on something, it shows up in the source, but program is this program folder over here. I'm going to drag this over here. It's going to be very soft and very gentle. And I'm going to move that with my key shortcut key, which is Command or Alt and then the arrow. Let me turn it down a wee little bit over here.
Healthy physique. Boiled eggs, perfect for protein on the go and healthy fats. Cottage cheese, perfect
I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to perfect on
for protein on the go and healthy fats.
And then we're going to add a wee bit of a riser. So I have found this pretty cool sound effect called a free riser off of YouTube, actually. This one. So off YouTube, I just searched free risers, cinematic sound effects pack. And yeah, quite a few, but that one's not the one I'm looking for. I'm looking for the deep riser. So there was another one called deep riser sound effect. I'm going to grab this and then click on this here. And then I'm going to endpoint over here just because it's very long. And I'm going to change this to over here. And I'm going to just drag it up just a bit over here.
On the go and healthy fats.
Then we're going to add a little, that's too generic. That one's pretty cool. Very nice. So because it comes from not the shadows, but from the blurry background, I wish it came from the shadows. That would be so cool. From the shadows. I'm going to bring this over here and I'm going to just lower this over here.
Healthy fats.
Sweet. And I want a bit of a bass impact straight. So it goes like, but not with the, just with the bass, similar to what I had with, this part over here, just because like it carries through.
Fats.
Oof, that was a bit loud.
Healthy fats. Cottage cheese. Perfect.
Maybe I need without the impact.
Fats. Cottage cheese. Perfect to get your
Yeah, so it's got
and healthy fats. Cottage cheese. Perfect to get your dairy in. High in protein. Zero fat. Perfect to mix with anything that you like.
Oh, now we need chopping. Okay, so what we're going to do now is because we need to find kind of a chopping sound effect, I'm going to look on Motion Array under my sound effects library, and I am going to search chopping salad. Delicious. Ah-ha-ha! Motion Array, guys. Motion Array. If you want to look at the pricing plans, I don't have an affiliate link with them, so it would be purely your guys' decision, but let me just rather cut that all out. So now what I'm going to do is I've got my cutting sound effect. I'm going to add it into my links folder because links are important. And from my links, I'm going to drag it into my sound effects library. And it was cutting vegetables. So I'm going to double click on it over here. It's a bit too slow. How often is he slicing? So it's like chick, 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 chick. I kind of like the first one. So I'm going to add an in and an out over here.
Perfect to mix with anything that you like.
And over there, it's already an impact. So he's going to go in, out over here. I'm going to layer this just over here.
Like.
And then just over here again, boop, as he slices through. That's when we're going to get our second slice brew, slice mild brew. And then I'm just going to add I just copied this one with Command C. You can Control C and add it in. I'm going to copy this one. Yeah.
Don't think I need to explain anything that you like. Don't think I need to explain Popeye. Spinach is a great source of fiber, very high in antioxidants, and very good source of vitamin C. You can't go wrong with spinach. Berries, great.
Ooh, berries.
Berries.
I wonder if we have fruits falling, maybe. Let's go with fruits falling. See if they have anything bouncing. Fruit fell from the tree. How anticlimactic. Manual citrus juicer. That is definitely not what we are looking for. So sometimes if you can't find, specifically that type of sound, you can look for items falling or maybe like a bouncing ball. Bouncing ball. You wouldn't want a tennis ball. You wouldn't want anything like, you know those bouncing balls, bounce ball. Or you can go with stones falling. Wow. So I'm going to test out this rock fall and see how it sounds, because when you lower its, volume, it sounds very different to what we're hearing when you're listening to something in full volume. So I copied it straight to my links folder. As always, we like to keep things organized, and I'm going to gooi this in here, and we're going to come over here. And if I gooi this in over here and I lower it very, very low.
Can't go wrong with spinach. Berries, great antioxidant, great to... Berries, great...
With the right sound build up to this, again, we are going to copy paste this entire thing. I'm going to drag and drop you over here.
Vitamin C, you can't go wrong with spinach. Berries, great antioxidant, great to put...
So the thing is, it needs to actually end sooner, because that's where the last one stops. So I'm just going to move this over here. Drag this over here.
Spinach. Berries, great antioxidant, great to put with oats, great to put...
What are those? Oh, sometimes you can grab from the camera, just by the way. Oh, shish kebab. Why didn't I just use these, man?
Great antioxidant, great to put with oats, great to put with anything, and great as just a finger snack if you open up.
So what I just did is, if you're looking for the clip, you can tap F. When you tap F, it shows you where this clip is from, the name here, and its current in and out points, and you can drag the audio from it back to your timeline. I did initially extend it.
Great antioxidant, great to put with oats, great to put with anything, and great as just...
I'm just going to make it high. I was standing quite far away. I was zoomed in with the 70mm.
Berries, great antioxidant, great to put with oats, great to put with anything, and great as just a finger snack if you open up the fridge. And guys, you can't forget about chicken. These are chicken strips. These are perfect as a protein snack. If you open up the fridge, you need some protein, you're on the go, you don't have time, chicken is your go-to.
Chicken is your go-to, Brie. So, sound effects for chicken. He doesn't really eat anything. So now what we want to do is I want to get some music going. And then once we got the right song for these, we will do maybe some animated titles in the beginning. Just to keep the intro fresh and cool, where he says the 5 essential foods. Actually, we will definitely do that. I'd love to show you how to do that. I'm going to make some coffee. This is actually, we've spent together about 15 minutes so far putting this together. So this is when it's the best time to get some coffee. Okay, so while I am waiting for the kettle to boil, I'm going to find a song. So because this is going on Instagram, I don't need to find something that is necessarily copyright free, because it's on Instagram, and yeah, there's no real rules to that. So I'm going to go through my downloaded library of like songs and real songs that I've used, something catchy and a bit upbeat.
Looks a little something like this. Looks
Just to see what I've got.
I'm just having fun on the stage.
I want something deep and intense. Icarus is a really cool song I found. I used it in one of his previous talking reels. But so important when you're adding music to your talking videos, it's important that it doesn't overpower the voice of the speaker. So what we're going to do is we're going to add it into our timeline. Then we're going to add a low pass filter to it and a de-esser. But before we do that, My kettle is telling me it's ready. Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. I hope you have some coffee. I hope you've been keeping your stomach satiated. And happy good day to you. It's my first cup of coffee the entire day, and it's almost 12 in the morning. Afternoon, actually. 12 in the afternoon. Good Lord. Oh, that's pretty good. Yes, Nescafe Espresso Gold with the candle sweetener. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to drag this into the timeline. So this is why I added so many audio tracks. So I can just scroll down over here and there's a lot of tracks. So yeah, I'm going to drag this down over here. I remember I liked this portion of it, so I'm just going to cut it. Oh, wondering if I'm going too fast quickly. Let me just expand this. If you press C, you go into your cutting tool. So C. Remember we were using Q and W. You don't want to be using Q and W for something like this, especially if it's on time. It's going to erase everything up here. So I am going to press C over here, and I'm going to bring this all the way back over here. So let's just see how it sounds here. If I press F, it's a pretty banger song. Messing with the herd. Okay, so anyways, it's obviously too loud. So I'm going to, in my essential sound, you can come over here. If you scroll down or you extend this over here, I'm going to set a maximum clipping range of about -13.
Perfect for protein on the go and healthy fats. Cottage cheese, perfect to get your dairy in.
I'm going to set a max clip to about maybe 20 decibels.
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique.
We're going to add an intro to the song, like a little bit of a riser. So do not panic. And if you are a professional sound designer, do not worry. I'm not as stupid as I look sometimes. So what I'm going to do is add a low pass. You don't have to always do this, especially if you're doing training montage stuff or like there's a silent part, like parts of it. This is something I like to do, and I keep it literally at the default. Listen to the difference now.
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining.
So I'm going to solo this clip, S to solo it. Listen to this. Okay, here. And I'm going to just come quickly to my effects and controls over here. So that's with the low pass. This is without the low pass. With low pass. Without low pass. With low pass. So you see, it just makes it sound almost as if you're hearing the song from outside the club or, you know, from a distance. I'm going to unsolo this. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a de-esser. D-E-E-S-S-E-R. You can search down your effects. And if you don't have your effects, this is probably so late to add it. I am so sorry if you have to go and Google where the hell is my effects. Your window, and you click effects, and then it shows up in one of these windows. So I'm going to drag and drop my DS. So you can drag it, either you can drag it to here or onto it here. And I'm going to click edit, and I'm going to drag this all the way to 100. And I'm going to set this to -25. Now what this does is, with the vocals,
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique.
competing with where your vocals usually would sound, or where your vocals levels would usually be, it removes it from being in that competitive range.
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique. Boiled eggs, perfect for protein on the...
What I think I'm going to do over here, I'm going to just, I hope this works. I might have to just remove this over here. I actually just want boiled eggs straight away, to be honest. I don't know if there's anything else. Yeah, it's probably this that's clipping this here. So I want to go boiled eggs, ding, as it happens.
A healthy physique. Boiled eggs, perfect for protein on the go.
So boiled eggs, obviously we want to center where this happens. So I'm going to, again, in my properties, move this to about over here. And I'm going to increase my scale to about here.
Boiled eggs, perfect for protein on the go.
So you see here.
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique. Boiled eggs, perfect for protein on the go and healthy fats. Cottage,
And then cottage cheese, I'm also going to get this.
cottage cheese, perfect to get your dairy in, high in protein, zero fat, perfect to mix with anything that you like. Don't think I need to explain pop.
Then what I'm going to do, okay, so I need to remove this gap over here, right? And I want to do that without, if I eliminate the space range, right? This is going to conflict because check, it's not going to work. So what I want to do is I want to move everything and every other sound effect that is at play here with this clip. So essentially what I need to do is I need to select A, press A for all. So all is anything in front of these arrows over here. I'm going to press click there. I'm going to make sure nothing at the above is selected, and I'm going to make sure nothing below is selected over here. For example, the music. So I'm going to press shift and click on that. Now everything else here is selected. So when I move it, it's going to move everything else there with it. So I'm going to drag that there. Boop.
That you like. Don't think I need to explain Popeye. Spinach is a great source of fiber, very high in antioxidants and very good source of vitamin C. You can't go wrong with spinach. Berries, great antioxidant, great to put with oats, great to put with anything, and great as just a finger snack if you open up the fridge. And guys, you can't forget about chicken. These are chicken strips. These are perfect as a protein snack. If you open up the fridge, you need some protein, you're on the go, you don't have time, chicken is your
Something I'm quickly noticing with this is it is not, balanced. I remember I had my camera, the A7S III with the GMOS 2040-70. I had the Atmos monitor on it, and it was very heavy. And at the time, I could only attach the clip to the tripod, not as a vertical mount, but on the side. So it made the camera tilt a bit too much, but that we can just fix very quickly. Back in my properties panel, I'm going to rotate by 1% and see that's a bit too much. So I'm going to go by 0.3, maybe 0.4, maybe 0.5. So basically it's 1 there, and then I'm going to increase its scale a little bit to like this over here. Voila. Okay, we're done with our music. We're done with our, we're not done with our music. What we want to do is want to add in a bit of a riser to this thing. So what we can do is we can add a, my little riser that I have here, my little rebel, my schnibble, my dark dramatic impacts. I'm going to add this riser over here, and I'm going to bring this song back over here so that like this can, I'm holding command and I'm pressing the left arrow key to do that. And I'm going to make this a bit softer. So it goes.
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique. Boiled eggs, perfect for protein on the go. Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique. Boiled eggs, perfect for protein on the go and healthy fats. Cottage cheese, perfect to get your dairy in, high in protein, zero fat, perfect to mix with anything that you like. Don't think I need to explain Popeye. Spinach.
So what I want to do is I want to make these very interesting. So the first part is, what's the say?
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique. Boiled
5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique. So in this, I'm going to right click and I'm going to say edit original. What that is going to do is open up that exact composition in After Effects wherever we left off. So in here, I'm going to click on toggle sound. There's no sound. So in here, so he says,
here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique.
So 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique. So I'm going to say 5. Okay, let's add this here. I'm going to change this to just white over here. So this is just in my text panel. So 5 essential. I'm typing each word out. Oh, sheesh. I probably did that really fast. So essentially, in here, I just pressed Command D to duplicate. Command D. and then it duplicated it. And then I'm going to 5 essential, Command D, I just duplicate essential and I can move it here, 5 essential foods. Let me just bring this up over here. So it's 5 essential foods for...
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique.
For maintaining a healthy physique. So I'm not going to say for maintaining. It's just going to be such a mouthful to do that. So I'm going to just say, okay, so let's bring this over here. Let's bring this and this. This is why I like After Effects for text. When you want to do animations or you want it to move, you can select like this, whereas you can't do this type of stuff in Premiere Pro. And I'm just going to lock this layer so I don't keep on accidentally selecting it when I'm trying to click on the text itself. So sometimes it helps just to set that boundary. So 5 essential foods for a healthy, 5 essential foods.
5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique.
For a healthy physique, 5 essential foods. I'm going to say for lean muscle. For lean muscle. So I'm going to duplicate this essential word. I'm going to say for a lean muscle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add this underneath over here. And I'm going to go to my align. So if you don't have the align, just go window, align, and it adds, that took it away, but I'm going to add it back, align. I'm going to select the composition. So that is this entire like thing here. And I'm going to set it to center over there. So then we have 5, which is just above it. Essential food. So both of these I can increase the size of. So I just want to get foods to just be in line with that. And this to be in line with this over here. So what we have is something that looks a little bit like this. Now, what I want to make sure quickly before I animate it is that everything is going to be in line with Instagram, because Instagram cuts off, it has a safe zone. So if I go into my assets, I have a guides, a Reels crop guides. So for my safe zone, so whenever I'm now going to be playing around with like text and stuff, I'm going to put this in here and I am going to increase its scale. So essentially this safe zone, you want text in here. You don't want text to go out of these, because when people are scrolling, that's what they guarantee to see. No matter the phone they have, whether it's an iPhone, whether it's an Android, a Huawei, a Poco phone, whatever it is. So as you can see, that's out of it. So I need to lift everything up into the safe zone. So I'm going to select all of these. I'm going to move it up about over here. Let's just see. Yeah, I can actually move it a bit more down. Here we go. So now Arnold is, he is not going to be too happy because he is cut out. So I'm just going to lift him over here. There we go. So we have 5 essential foods for...
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique. Boiled egg.
Okay, so we're going to start off with very basic animations on these. So I'm going to have all of these come into frame with the inertia bound. So I'm going to select all of these foods, lean muscle, essential, 5. I'm going to press P on my keyboard for position. I'm going to keyframe it here. This is where I want them to end up. So I keyframe this and I'm moving it just a few frames in. And then all I need to do from here, I want 5 to come in from here. I want essential food to come in from here. And then I want for lean muscle to come over here. So we're going to do just a few different types of animations. Then I'm going to select all of these quickly. I'm going to enable motion blur. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of these and I'm going to tap, I hold Fn and then F9 to easy ease. You can right click, you can say keyframe assistant and easy ease. But weirdly enough, just tapping F9 doesn't work on Mac. I have to hold down Fn and tap F9. I think on PC, tapping F9 itself just works. So this is the essential 5 essential, right? So that's the basic animation I'm going to just select all of these. So dragging like this, click on my graph. I'm going to select all of these over here. And I want to edit the graph of these to be something like this so that they come in really cool, like a fast to slow. So if I move these out more, if I move these out a bit more, you can do these at whatever pace you desire. I kind of like where it's a bit snappy. Okay, so there it is. So 5. I'm going to select all of these. I'm going to move them like this. Five essential foods for lean muscle. Oh, wait. So that one, I need to actually, 5 essential foods. So this one actually needs to come in about over here. And this one needs to come over here. There we go. For lean muscle, what I'm going to do, because it's just going to appear out of nowhere. So you see how like it's just appearing, right? Because the others started outside of the composition, so you can't see them. When something is going to start inside, you have 2 options. You're going to press T for your opacity. I'm going to press U, and I'm going to press this, move this. That's the full opacity, and make it 0. So it appears like that, right? So it's a bit easier. But you would want it to only start fading in when it moves up, when it's moving up already. So from about like here. Let me just move this here. So yeah, there we go. 5 essential foods for lean muscle. Okay, so I want to quickly change the word color essential to be like a orange, because it is very essential. I want it to stand out. 5 essential foods. And I'm just going to color pick this to be the same color here. So if you're wondering how I did that, I selected the word foods. In my text panel here, I have a fill. So if I click on fill, I can color pick, or I can choose my color manually over there. And you can find a bunch of color swatches online with colors that you like. That's some good coffee. 5 essential foods for lean muscle. This way now, we're guaranteed in this intro that nothing's going to cut off. He's well framed. He's in this.
Here are the 5 essential foods for me.
Now, the reason the words over here are red is because it is sitting under the adjustment layer. Do you remember when I said everything under the adjustment layer gets affected? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to raise it above the adjustment layer. I'm going to come back in.
Here are the 5
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the adjustment layer to be about over here. I'm going to press Control C, and I'm actually going to paste the adjustment layer in here itself, because the way After Effects and Premiere Pro talk to each other, you can actually just bring elements between them. And then, so if you see here now, I'm going to move this just above here. What it's done though, is it's made my composition extremely, extremely long. As you can see, the adjustments, it's about 45 seconds, as long as the Premiere Pro timeline was, but it's fine because I've only extended it to about here. There we go.
Here are the 5 essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique. Boiled eggs, perfect for protein on the go and healthy fats. Cottage cheese, perfect to get your dairy in, high in protein.
So what I want
5 essential
foods is something I love doing with talking videos, where you take them out of here and you can add animated text to what they're saying. And I'm going to show you in the next few seconds.
To get your dairy in, high in protein, 0 fat, perfect to mix with anything that you like.
So this is
Cheese, perfect to get your dairy.
So he uses low-fat cottage cheese. So what I'm going to do is I just quickly sliced over here. I'm going to click right-click again, replace with After Effects composition. Okay. So now we have our base over here. I'm going to quickly add this into here. So we have him over here because I'm going to end up moving this above this layer here. Okay. So now what I want to do is here's where creative freedom comes in actually. There's so many ways to edit this in a cool way that's subjective to whatever the style is that you enjoy creating, to what the client wants. There's simple, you can get complex, you can remove the background, you can put him in a circle. So one of the methods that I'm going to use is I'm going to put him in a bit of a square, a rounded square, right? So like something like this. Right? So I just pressed M. So the way I did that, let me remove this mask. You select the layer, you come up over here, rounded rectangle with the layer selected. Because the layer selected, I'm creating a mask over him like this. There we go. It's going to be a bit big. I'm going to center it to the composition. I'm going to lower it over here. So now what I want to do is I want to transition this in from about, I'm going to make him smaller as well. So I'm going to change my scale to about there. And I want him a bit higher. Okay, so this is where he's going to end up. I'm going to quickly lock this adjustment layer. So if I press P, I'm going to select the position again, as always, my favorite method. Put the finishing position at the end, and then I'm going to lower this here to about, I'm going to start him on frame actually, and I'm going to ease this, motion blur it, and go to your graphs and add a spike graph.
Area in, high.
You see that shoot? It's like,
Area in, high. Area in.
Now, an asset that I use with Arnold and a lot of the other clients is if I come here to my assets over here, or my links over here. So Arnold has his own designated links where I have backgrounds for him like that have dotted background. Probably sounds so mysteriously dumb right now, but I need to find it. Links, assets. So one of the things Arnold has, which a lot of my clients also have, is this white dot background. I got this off of Pixie Set. It was like free backgrounds basically that you can just download and you can set them and use them. I rotate them every now and then for my clients, and I'm just going to add this to the background over here so that he's coming onto, as you can see, the adjustment layer is affecting it. So I'm going to actually just take this adjustment layer, take the colors on it, just apply it to that, and then delete that.
Area in, high.
There we go. So now what I want to do is add to him a drop shadow. And I'm just going to go with, I don't know if motion ray generator is going to be quite nice. Not the motion ray, just a general perspective drop shadow. There we go. That's all we need. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the softness, increase the opacity of it a little bit so that we can actually see it, and the distance a little bit. Softness, increase. Okay, decrease because that's going to be a bit too much. Reduce the distance. So essentially now this is what his is looking like.
Area in, high in protein, zero.
Protein, zero fat, perfect to mix with anything that you like. Area in.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to Google AI. So Google AI, I'm going to say low fat cottage cheese benefits, right? It's going to give me a whole little description, a good source, low fat cottage cheese, a good benefit for health, muscle management. And because this relates to what he's saying, I can actually just add this in. So I'm going to fit this here. I'm going to go to my text tool and I am going to add a little text, you would call this text box. So I just clicked and dragged with my text, activate T for text. And I'm going to Command V, paste all this in, quickly select all of it to white. That's actually not a great idea. Maybe gray. And I'm going to decrease the size of these, right? So now the parts that I want to stand out. So I'm going to press my H tool here so I don't accidentally. So I'm going to press back to my text icon. So it's a good source of protein that I'm going to make blue. Blue is such a nice color to be using. You want like a cyan blue, not too. There we go. A good source of protein, calcium, phosphorus, all beneficial for bone health, muscle growth, and weight management. So since this is the topic of the video, and I'm going to color pick this, use this. Righty-yo. And in my alignment tool, I'm going to align this. I'm going to actually increase protein, the size of it. And I'm going to increase the size of muscle growth. I might just actually put this on a new line. And then, good source of. Nah, never mind. I think like there's protein and muscle growth. That's all fine. Let me just center line it. I think it actually looked better like this, to be honest. So then what I'm going to do, I just save. I am a chronic saver. I believe fully in saving. Now, just quickly, before I do anything else, I want to make sure that everything is fitting within the real box over here. So as you can see, it's going to line up there. So I can raise everything else up a little bit higher. So I'm going to raise this up over here. And this box, I'm actually going to raise up higher. So back here, I'm going to press this little arrow over here, go to previous keyframe, and I'm actually going to lift him up quite a substantial amount back up over here and see where he fits in here. So he's going to be about here. So there's a gap over here, there's a gap over here. It's not too wild, mate, not too bad. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add in one of the built-in effects called Blur Fade. Nope, let me go with Fade. Let me type in Blur. Blur and Fade in on this. Now what that's going to do, I'm just moving this keyframe here. So you notice the keyframe is starting here. If I Command Z, if I move my keyframe back, and then drag and drop, it's going to start the first keyframe from wherever this icon is. Now it's going to
Dairy in, high in protein, zero fat.
Protein, zero fat, perfect to mix with anything that you like.
Dairy in, high in protein, zero fat, perfect to mix with anything that you like.
very cool, very nice. Caramel cheese is very great. I'm surprised it wasn't low-fat Greek yogurt because low-fat Greek yogurt seems to be a staple. I eat it with whey protein because it's just low-fat, low-calorie. You can get, it's high in protein. It's pretty
Z, boiled eggs, perfect for protein on the go and healthy fats.
This is a bit.
Z, boiled eggs.
I actually want this to maybe start zoomed in. So I'm going to effects and controls, scale. I'm going to press my down arrow twice. If it's going from like here to here, right? Remember in the beginning, I said activate V2. Then it will activate this here. And then I'm going to select this here. I'm going to start this in over here.
Boiled eggs, perfect for protein on the go. Boiled eggs, perfect for protein on the go and healthy. Perfect. Boiled eggs.
I'm going to actually end this just over here. So I'm going to take this keyframe quick before I forget. Move it here. I'm going to close that over there.
Z, boiled eggs, perfect for protein on.
Yeah, something looks.
Z, boiled eggs, perfect for.
Maybe it's two.
Boiled eggs, perfect for.
Always seems like it's like got a easy ease in to an easy ease out, but it doesn't. It doesn't, mate. Let me just actually increase the size. So it's
boiled eggs, perfect for protein.
Maybe it was just a bit better to have it on a bit longer.
Boiled eggs, perfect for protein. Boiled eggs, perfect for protein on the go and healthy fats. Cottage cheese, perfect to get your dairy in.
Ooh, what was that?
Fats. Cottage cheese, perfect to get your dairy in. To get your dairy in.
There's like a little tick sound there.
to get your dairy in, high in protein.
So this, we're going to add a bit of a whoosh over here just to emulate this thing. So I'm going to put, so with all of our pre-comps, which I didn't do, I know naughty, I created a folder called pre-comps, and all comps go into pre-comps. Even I had one in here that actually goes into pre-comps. My song goes into links. My sequence goes into sequences. My reels, safe zone goes into links. Just to keep everything neat and tidy. You guys hanging in there? Really proud of you if you are still watching. I appreciate you so much. I hope you've suckled on some great coffee today.
Dairy in, high in protein. Perfect to get your dairy in, high in protein.
Okay, let's add a bit of a whoosh over here. So I'm going to go to my sound effects, and I am going to add a deep subnautic impact. Not going to add a deep subnautic impact. I'm going to go to my swooshes and whooshes over here. I'm going to see a swoosh sounds like. That's nice and gentle. Okay. And I'm going to command, I'm just literally holding it down at this point, and I'm going to just lower this a little bit.
Perfect to get your dairy in, high in protein, zero fat.
Then I want to add, so there's this one sound effect I have. I love using it. It's literally like, it's gears and cogwheels. So if I come over to my assets and I go to my sound, I have this one over here, this one. That's the one I like to use. I like to use that. So I'm going to drag just that solo one because that's the only one I'll use for these. And you'll see the difference it's going to make now. And you just put it really, really, really low. Minus 22.
Get your dairy in, high in protein, zero fat. Perfect to mix.
Yeah.
Perfect to get your dairy in, high in protein, zero fat. Perfect to mix with anything that you like. Don't think I need to explain.
Then I'm just going to add like a little shk over here. So back in my virals, my number 4. That one. That one. I'm going to add this sound effect. It's quite a nice, like a paper crunch sound effect. And I'm just going to see if there's anything over here. Just to help ease up that like visual change that is quite sudden. So I'm going to lower this here to minus 14.
You like. Don't think I need to explain.
There we go.
Thing that you like. Don't think I need to explain Popeye.
It actually flows quite nicely into the sound of the cutting that we added in here.
With anything that you like. Don't think I need to explain Popeye. Spinach is a great source of fiber, very high in antioxidants, and very good source of vitamin C. You can't go wrong with spinach. Berries, great antioxidant, great.
So this one, I'm going to add some movement in this one, similar to what we did with the chopping of the egg. So I'm going to have it zoomed in and have it like zooming out.
Berries, great antioxidant, great to put with oats, great to put with anything, and great as just a finger snack if you open up the fridge. And guys, you can't forget about chicken. These are chicken strips. These are perfect as a protein snack. If you open up the fridge, you need some protein, you're on the go, you don't have time, chicken is your go-to.
So one of the cool things is when you put in the effort in creating this, right? It's very easy to now replicate this across the rest of the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to take this, right click, replace with After Effects composition, right? I'm going to grab these 3 and I am going to Command C. I'm going to Command V. The reason I've got this in is because I want to copy both my luminantry color and the drop shadow, and I'm going to move the white background to the back. I'm going to paste it onto this. And then my mask, if I press M on this over here, that has the mask. I'm going to Command C. I'm going to Command V. There's my mask. Just added the mask back onto here. And what is the scale of this? The scale is 82. I'm pressing S for scale. 82 there as well. Going to just remove this here. So my mask is quite a bit off. I'm not going to lie. I can just click on it and drag it down. That's nice. Oh, sheesh kebab. And then what I'm going to do is over here, I've gone back to the previous one. I'm going to, on the position keyframes, remember this is the previous one, right? If I press P, open up the position keyframes, I'm going to Command C, going to come back here, position, Command V.
And guys,
Voila!
And guys, you can't forget about chicken.
Chicken.
Guys, you can't forget about chicken. These are chicken strips. These are perfect.
And what I'm going to do is ask either ChatGPT to write me a please write me an unhinged description of how important chicken strips is for lean muscle, M-U-S-C-L-E, M-U-S-C muscle growth and management. Please keep it short and entertaining, because it is quite a long section, right? That people are, it's a long section to keep on there. So you want to put something that they can read while they listen, and make it entertaining. So like lean muscle forge. So you want something that they can read and be like, ha, ha, ha. That's actually pretty funny. Chicken strips aren't just food. They're lean muscle fuel forged by gods of gains. Each crispy bite is a golden ticket to Bicep City, packed with protein, low on guilt, dipped in the sauce of dreams. Chicken strips are the unofficial pre-workout, post-workout, mid-workout snack of champions. Skip the shakes. Strip your way to swallow. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm actually going to take the whole thing. I just want to see how long this is going to look in here if I was to copy-paste this whole thing. Oh, gosh. It's actually not that bad. It's bad. No, it's not that bad. But now remember, this is already animated in.
And guys, you can't forget about chicken.
So as you can see, because it is such a long section, people are going to have time to go through this and read this. This is literally just pure art. This is a poet and they know it. Well done, ChatGPT. Strips on their lean muscle fuel forged by the gods of gains. See, I'm going to add that to make it blue. Make it blue. Voila, blue. Each crispy bite, I wouldn't say crispy each bite. I'm going to say each bite because, crispy chicken, we'll associate that. Bodybuilders are bodybuilders. They'll associate crispy with unhealthy oil. Bite is a golden ticket to Bicep City, packed with, unless you've got the Hunt for Shreds recipe book. It's pretty good. Packed with protein, low on guilt, and dipped in the sauce of dreams. Chicken strips are the unofficial pre-workout. Here we go. And voila. I'm just going to add an L point, so I'm going to press O. And that's how we pretty much make something. This is a very simple reel. It's one of the basic reels that I make for clients. It's nothing super fancy, super crazy, but it is fun to make and it adds a lot of value to clients, especially with the talking head videos. Keep it entertaining.
Essential foods for maintaining a healthy physique. Boiled eggs, perfect for protein on the go and healthy fats. Cottage cheese, perfect to get your dairy in, high in protein, zero fat, perfect to mix with anything that you like. Don't think I need to explain Popeye. Spinach is a great source of fiber, very high in antioxidants and very good source of vitamin C. You can't go wrong with spinach. Berries, great antioxidant, great to put with oats, great to put with anything, and great as just a finger snack if you open up the fridge. And guys, you can't forget about chicken. The fridge. And guys, you can't forget about chicken.
So what I'm just quickly doing is I added that sound effect of the cogwheels to this one as well. With this one, I'm actually going to add a slight low pass on this cogwheel, but I'm going to increase its sound.
And guys, you can't.
Let's see how it sounds.
And guys, you can't forget about chicken.
Oh.
These are.
Never mind, we will not be adding a low pass. We'll just keep it really soft. We added it.
And guys, you can't forget about chicken. These are chicken strips. These are perfect as a protein snack. If you open up the fridge, you need some protein, you're on the go, you don't have time, chicken is your go-to.
Chicken is your go-to, Brie. Chicken, woo! Oi, 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 oi. Okay, so what we have done, my friends, my family, my comrades of video editors, we have taken something simple and made it slightly more digestible and entertaining. And if this is something that you actually really enjoy or want to learn a lot more of, please do let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to make more videos like this where I go into more complex reels with more animations, more sound effects, more making life very difficult for us. But I hope that if you're making reels like this, that you are charging a fair price, because you're not avocado, you're guacamole, pre-prepared with zesty lemon spice, and I believe in you. So the last thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we finish off this clip over here. So I'm actually just going to fade it out because it's already in a low pass. It actually fades out quite nicely. I'm going to take you through my export settings. So I'm going to press Command M and we're going to come over here. So for Instagram, I don't export in 4K. I export in 1080 by 1920, even though it is 4K footage. I'm going to click on more. I'm going to say render at maximum depth and use maximum render quality. And then I always set my target bitrate to 25. And for my output, right, I add this LUT. This is because I shoot off a Sony camera and it's designed for Sony. So you get this off of Sony's website, a Q2 gamma compensation LUT. So basically, if I cut to you where Arnold is talking, and if I toggle it off, that's without it. And then when I toggle it on, that's with it. So it just helps with a bit of the color corrections. And that's about it. You just got to select where you want to export it to and happy exporting.